Welcome everyone. Today we're going to talk about Render and I'm going to give my last warning about this project. If you guys like this type of content, give me a like, subscribe, and also check out my Twitter where I post daily content. Keep in mind, nothing I say is financial advice. First, let's just quickly look at where we're at in the market. CPI data came out on Wednesday and markets didn't really care that much, at least in the beginning. It wasn't until a couple of hours later where we started to go down a bit, but I suspect this is correlated with the entire market being bearish. That's at least the sentiment I'm sure most of us can agree on. During the last 24 hours, we went down to 56K. What are my estimations moving forward? I've always been very adamant in the fact that we can go lower. Like I talk about in my private group, there is no rush. Never rush anything in crypto. You will get wrecked. So I absolutely think we can go lower, even touching the 40s again. And altcoins, they will absolutely bleed further if this is the case. Just be aware of that. But even so, I don't really see any problems. I think we sooner or later will switch bullish again, whether it will be towards Q4 this year or sometime during the next year. And alts will eventually also pick up. But I don't think all the alts will pump. I think there are a lot of projects that will be left behind. These are the ones that have shown that they're not able to perform. Render is one of the best performers in the top 100 and did more or less a 30x from these lows right here, all the way up to a new all-time high of $13.6. Even after this heavy correction here, we're still up more or less 12x from these levels. So a quick introduction to Render if you're not familiar and why I believe there is and will be a huge demand for this moving forward. So Render is a decentralized GPU rendering platform. So what this means is that people will be able to rent out their hardware, in this case GPUs. So you're basically able to offer your idle GPU and then other people can use it as computational power for whatever their needs might be. It can be rendering, hence the name, so rendering for artists, content creation, but also for artificial intelligence by using computational power for LLMs. Okay, that's cool and all, but will there be a demand for this? And the short answer is absolutely yes. If you guys remember, back in 2020, 2021, there was a supply shock for GPUs. I remember my friend was mining ETH at the time and was battling over mid to high tier NVIDIA GPUs at insane prices. You can go back and check the price history for those GPUs. Needless to say, he was not very popular in the gaming community as they were both fighting for the same GPUs. Today, there's still an insane demand for GPUs. Elon Musk has come out saying that GPUs are harder to get than drugs. And the reason for this is that GPUs are essentially the hardware that makes LLMs possible. There is no way to run the normal AI applications you see today without this hardware. And this demand, as we progress more to an AI-dominated world, is of course going to get bigger and bigger. So now AI researchers are competing with gamers, graphical designers, miners, etc., which is obviously going to further facilitate this demand for GPUs. This is why I'm so bullish on this AI GPU narrative, and especially coins like Render that will literally serve as a backbone for further AI development. Now, as some of you know, Render has migrated to Solana. So we talked previously about why I'm so bullish on this, primarily with regards to the fact that I fundamentally believe Solana is better with regards to fees, speed, and institutional interest. Furthermore, and here's an important part, Solana allows for Render to employ burn-mint equilibrium. So the burn-mint equilibrium includes token burning and emission. So when people pay for these services, they will convert fiat into Render token using distributed liquidity pools. These Render tokens will then be burned. Now emissions are still in play obviously, but now a fairly big portion of Render tokens will be burned. Now this is obviously something bullish, and this will most likely increase the demand. I say most likely because I'm so tired of people misusing supply and demand ratio the same way they don't understand risk to reward ratio. Just because something decreases in supply does not mean the demand will automatically increase. I'm not going to rant any further about that. However, Render will of course benefit from this as there is a demand for Render in the first place. So bullish things are happening on the tokenomics side of things. So let's just look at the graph before we take a look at some price predictions for Render. The reason why we go through this graph is because I think it's a very good indicator for what Render will do in the future. So Render was launched back in mid 2020 and of course had its first bull run in 2020 to 2021, where it performed quite well, actually did more than a 100x from these lows right here. Now, normally I'm not bullish on altcoins that have had previous bull runs unless they have proven that they can perform afterwards. And one way to see if it can still perform is to look what an altcoin has done ever since the bear market lows of 2022. And like we mentioned in the intro, this beast managed to not only perform, but make a new all-time high. Compare this to other coins in the top 100 that has been around for the same amount of time or longer. Very few of them made a new all-time high. And this is very important. This, in my opinion, is a testament to the fact that I'm betting on Render to do something that it has demonstrated that it is capable of doing. There's so many coins in the top 100 and people just refuse to acknowledge this. There's so many coins in the top 100 list right now that will simply die. They're in the process of dying out. So right now, Render is actually down like 60 to 65% down since its all-time high. And that's kind of the reason why I'm making this video today, because I think that Render is at an extremely good buying range. Of course, if you're going to buy, expect further downside. You should always DCA. We had this dip right here where it dipped down to like $3.3. Me and the VIP caught the dip and we were buying at $3.4. So let me just say that's an amazing entry. So good job to everyone in the VIP Discord that got in at 3.4. Will it go down further than this? Maybe. We're in shaky times. I will continue to accumulate if it goes down, no doubt, because this is a no-brainer. So let's look at some price predictions for Render. We're going to do a conservative price prediction and a bullish price prediction. A conservative price prediction, in my estimates, would from today be around $40. Now, this, in my opinion, is very, very achievable, as it would only need to hit like 50 million in market cap. At the peak of $13, we were at more or less 5 billion in market cap. So this is, like I said, should be very easy. Now let's head on over to the bullish prediction. Now this might come as a shock to some of you, but I actually believe Render can hit $100 this cycle and maybe even more, but let's just use $100. I know that's a lot, and it will be a bit more than a 20x from here with a market cap of 40 billion. Keep in mind that for the VIPs, this will be like a 30x from our entry. The reason why I think this is possible is because there are going to be so many businesses now that will be demanding this computational power that I think we can see the same leg up as we did a couple of months ago. If you want the chance to follow all my trades, then check out my VIP Discord. We also started to accumulate a meme coin that I'm very surprised no other influencer is talking about. I am very conservative in my meme coin picks, and my track record so far is very good. So when I say that this has a 100x potential, I really mean it. I'm also uncovering the VIP's first secret gem this week, so don't miss that. Next week, we're going to release a course on exit strategy, so look out for that. When joining my group, you also get in-depth portfolio review, get access to all my courses, and you'll be able to message me 24/7, only for $39. Bigger YouTubers charge literally hundreds of dollars for this. You can go check for yourself. There are limited spots at this price, of course. The price will more than double when we switch bullish again. I hope to see you there. Take care and stay safe.